Okay, so when I say Nvidia, what's the first thing that pops into your head? It's the chips, right? The super powerful GPUs that are basically the engine of this whole AI thing. And yeah, you're not wrong, but what if I told you their real secret weapon, the thing that really makes them dominant, isn't the hardware at all? Let's get into it.
So, this gets us to the big question, the real head scratcher here. Why on earth would a company that makes its money selling the most advanced chips on the planet just give away its best AI models for free? I mean, that sounds kind of backward, doesn't it? But believe it or not, this is the absolute key to understanding their entire game plan.
Look, the obvious reason Nvidia is on top is the hardware. We all know it. The GB200, the Blackwell GPUs. I mean, these things are legendary for a reason. They're what you read about in the headlines. It's the moat everyone can see, plain as day. But here's the thing. That hardware, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The real moat, the one that's way, way harder for anyone else to even try to cross, is the massive software stack they've built on top of it. And this isn't something they just whipped up last year. This has been their strategy for decades.
And this is a great way to visualize what I'm talking about. This software moat has layers, right? At the very bottom, you've got CUDA. That's the fundamental piece that lets programmers actually talk to the GPU. Then you stack cuDNN on top of that, which gives you all these ready-made tools for deep learning. And then at the very top, you have something like NeMo, which is a whole framework for building massive language models. You put all this together, and that's the magic sauce that turns tens of thousands of separate GPUs into one giant, unified AI supercomputer. Okay, so where do the free models fit into this picture? Well, that's where we get to Nematron. Think of Nematron as the next big step in this strategy. It's their latest move to make that software moat even wider and deeper. It's the piece that takes all that raw number crunching power and turns it into intelligence that you can actually use.
So why are they doing this? Well, if you ask them, the official line from NVIDIA's VP, Kari Brisky, is that it's all about speeding up innovation. The idea is if they give everyone a powerful shared starting point, researchers don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. They can just build on top of what's already there. You know, it's a classic open source argument. And this isn't just talk. They're absolutely putting their money where their mouth is. Just look at these numbers. In the last year, NVIDIA literally became the #1 contributor of models and datasets on Hugging Face. We're talking more than 650 models and 250 datasets. They're actively and aggressively seeding the entire AI community.
So here's the bottom line, the real strategic goal. They want to make the NVIDIA platform, and that's the hardware and the software, the default place to be, the place where all the serious, cutting-edge AI work gets done. By giving away the best Legos for free, they make sure everyone comes to their house to build.
And with their newest release, Nematron 3, they're taking this whole strategy to another level. This is way more ambitious now. They're not just dropping a model and walking away. No, they're giving away a complete AI toolkit in a box. It's basically everything you'd need to start building the next generation of AI agents.
All right, so let's pop the hood and see what makes this thing tick. Nematron 3 is really built on 3 core ideas. First, a hybrid architecture that's all about raw efficiency. Second, a ridiculously huge 1 million token context window so it can understand massive amounts of information in one go. And third, this really clever design they call mixture of experts. So you're probably asking, what the heck is mixture of experts, or MOE? The easiest way to get it is to think of it like a team of expert doctors. Instead of having one general practitioner trying to do brain surgery, heart surgery, and everything else, you have a whole team of specialists. When a problem comes in, the system intelligently routes it to the right expert for that specific job. And what this does is make it unbelievably efficient. You get all the power of a giant model, but you only use the energy and compute of a much, much smaller one. And again, I gotta stress this. We're talking about the full toolkit here. NVIDIA isn't just dropping the final cooked model on our laps. They're giving away the gyms they use to train it with reinforcement learning. They're giving away the super high-quality data they fed it. And they're even handing over the blueprints for how to actually deploy it. It's not just the cake. They're giving away the entire recipe, the oven, and the kitchen.
And that data quality, it's absolutely critical. Get this, NVIDIA spent over 1 million H100 GPU hours just creating and cleaning the data for this. And the result? A mind-blowing 40% leap in the model's intelligence score compared to its predecessor. It's just a huge reminder that the game has changed. It's not just about throwing more computers at the problem anymore. It's about having better, smarter data.
Okay, so what's the payoff? Why give all this amazing stuff away for free? How does that actually help them beat the competition? Well, it all comes down to building a bigger, stronger, competitive moat. And this right here really puts it all into perspective. You've got competitors like AMD, right? They make really good chips, and they have their own software stack, ROCm. But just look at the difference. Look at the sheer depth of what Nvidia is offering. It's not just a GPU and some software. It's the open models, the training gyms, the curated data, the deployment plans. It's the whole shebang. It's an entire ecosystem. Now, if you're a company trying to build something with AI, this is just incredibly appealing. It slashes the time it takes to go from a cool idea to a working product. And while that's happening, it kind of gently, subtly pulls you deeper into NVIDIA's world. It just becomes the easiest, fastest, most logical way to get things done, the path of least resistance. So you have to understand, this isn't about one single product release being a knockout punch. The release of Nematron is just one move in a much, much longer game. And the goal is to build something even more powerful than a technical advantage. They're trying to build a cultural moat. And really, the best way to think about this whole strategy is as a flywheel, one of those big, heavy wheels. Every single thing they do, every new tool or model they release, gives that wheel another big push, making the whole system spin faster and with more momentum. So let's break down how this flywheel actually spins. First, they release better, more efficient open models. Well, those models make their GPUs more valuable, because guess what? They're perfectly optimized to run on NVIDIA hardware. Second, the complete toolkit makes their whole software platform stickier. It just makes it harder for you to leave. And finally, being so open wins the major points with the entire AI research community. You see, every single piece reinforces the others. Which brings us to the real long-term play. The end game here might not even be technical at all. It might be cultural. By giving away the entire recipe book, NVIDIA is making a play to set the industry standard. They're trying to define for everyone what it means to build serious, professional, enterprise-grade AI. And that leaves us with one last really fascinating question to chew on. When you give away all these amazing free tools that, surprise, surprise, just happen to work best on your own hardware, are you building a truly open and collaborative ecosystem? Or are you actually building the world's most beautiful, most helpful, and most welcoming golden cage?